Welcome to our channel, fellow explorers. Today we embark on a journey into the cosmos of your own mind. That's right, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of neuroscience to discover how to train your brain for success in the professional world. Think about it. The human brain is the most complex object in the known universe. It's capable of incredible feats, from composing symphonies to launching rockets into space. And the really amazing part is that this incredible organ sits right inside your skull, just waiting to be optimized. We'll be taking inspiration from the practices of musical genius Glenn Gould, who, through rigorous self-discipline and unconventional techniques, revolutionized the world of classical piano. Using 4 powerful brain hacks, we'll explore how to rewire your thinking for greater innovation, stronger teamwork, and ultimately, a more successful career. Get ready to unleash the power within. So imagine the neurons in your brain like the vast network of roads and highways crisscrossing our planet. Every time you think a thought or perform an action, it's like sending a car down one of those roads. The more frequently you send that car down the same route, the more established that pathway becomes. That's the essence of neurons that fire together, wire together. This principle, known as Hebbian learning, is the cornerstone of how we form habits, both good and bad. The good news is, just as our brains are wired to create habits, we can rewire them for success. It all starts with awareness. Think about a habit you'd like to change. Let's say it's negativity. Every time you catch yourself dwelling on the negative, consciously choose to reframe the situation in a positive light. This might seem forced at first, but remember, you're literally carving out new neural pathways. And speaking of positive rewiring, let's talk about gratitude. Taking time each day to appreciate the good in your life, no matter how small, strengthens those positive neural connections. It's like giving your brain a daily dose of sunshine. Visualization is another powerful tool. Just as athletes mentally rehearse their moves, you can visualize yourself achieving your goals. This activates the same brain regions as actually performing the action, reinforcing those success pathways. Remember, change takes time and effort. Don't get discouraged if you stumble along the way. The key is to keep practicing, keep reinforcing those positive pathways, and your brain will reward you with a more positive and successful you. Let's talk about one of the brain's most persistent quirks, confirmation bias. This little trickster is constantly at work, influencing our perceptions and decisions, often without us even realizing it. Imagine you're browsing online, researching a new car you're thinking of buying. You've already got a particular model in mind, and you find yourself clicking on articles praising its sleek design and fuel efficiency. Sound familiar? That's confirmation bias at play. Our brains love to be right. They crave information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs while conveniently filtering out anything that contradicts our viewpoint. It's like wearing horse blinders, limiting our field of vision to only what we want to see. In the workplace, this bias can wreak havoc on decision-making. Imagine a team clinging to an outdated strategy simply because it worked in the past, ignoring market trends and customer feedback that suggest otherwise. So how do we combat this deeply ingrained tendency? Awareness is the first step. Recognize that confirmation bias is a natural human tendency and be mindful of its potential influence on your thoughts and decisions. Next, actively seek out diverse perspectives. Don't just surround yourself with yes people. Engage in constructive debate, challenge your assumptions, and be open to the possibility that you might be wrong. It's in those moments of cognitive dissonance that true growth and innovation can occur. Finally, learn to reframe feedback. Instead of viewing criticism as a threat, embrace it as an opportunity for learning and improvement. Remember, even negative feedback can be valuable data that helps you refine your approach and ultimately achieve greater success. Now, let's journey back in time to our hunter-gatherer ancestors roaming the savannas. Back then, survival depended on recognizing friend from foe, on banding together with your tribe to protect your resources and fend off rivals. This instinct to divide the world into us versus them is deeply ingrained in our evolutionary wiring. While this tribal mentality served a purpose in our evolutionary past, in today's interconnected world, it often manifests as unconscious bias and prejudice, hindering collaboration and stifling innovation. Think about the workplace. You've got different departments competing for resources and recognition. You've got individuals vying for promotions, sometimes resorting to office politics and undermining colleagues. This kind of us versus them thinking creates silos, breeds resentment, and prevents teams from reaching their full potential. So how do we overcome this deeply ingrained tribal programming? It starts with cultivating empathy. Make an effort to understand perspectives different from your own. Step into your colleagues' shoes, consider their backgrounds, their experiences, and their motivations. Focus on shared goals. Remind yourself and your team that you're all working towards a common purpose. When you highlight the collective mission, those perceived divisions begin to fade, replaced by a spirit of collaboration and shared success. And finally, celebrate diversity. Recognize that a diversity of perspectives, backgrounds, and experiences isn't just politically correct. It's essential for innovation and growth. When you create an inclusive environment where everyone feels valued and respected, you unlock the full potential of your team. Let's talk about failure, that dreaded F word that sends shivers down our spines. Our brains, wired for survival, are naturally programmed to avoid pain and seek pleasure. So when we experience failure, our amygdala, the brain's fear center, lights up like a Christmas tree, sending us running for cover. But here's the thing. Failure is an inevitable part of the human experience. It's a stepping stone on the path to success, a crucible where innovation and growth are forged. Think about some of history's greatest achievers: Thomas Edison, Marie Curie, Albert Einstein. They didn't achieve greatness by avoiding failure. They embraced it, learned from it, and used it as fuel to propel them forward. So how do we rewire our brains to view failure not as a threat, but as a valuable learning experience? It starts with shifting our perspective. Instead of dwelling on the negative emotions associated with failure, the disappointment, the frustration, the self-doubt, focus on extracting the lessons learned. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What could I have done differently? What did I learn from this experience that I can apply to future endeavors? Remember, every setback is an opportunity for growth, a chance to refine our approach and emerge stronger and wiser. And don't forget to celebrate effort. Too often, we tie our self-worth to outcomes, equating success with our value as individuals. This kind of thinking can be paralyzing, preventing us from taking risks and pursuing our passions. Instead, focus on the process, on the effort and dedication you put forth, regardless of the outcome. Remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. So embrace failure, learn from it, and keep striving towards your goals. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the incredible world of your own mind. Remember, your brain is not a static organ. It's a dynamic, constantly evolving network of connections shaped by your experiences and your choices. By understanding the principles of neuroscience, we can become the architects of our own cognitive landscapes, rewiring our habits, challenging our biases, bridging divides, and embracing failure as a catalyst for growth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful content. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of the universe, both within and all around us.